Welcome to the Remedify Coaching Program podcast. You recently shared some really fascinating material from Your Health is Your Wealth, and specifically around this idea of understanding spiritual food.
hmm
When we look through your notes, this concept just jumped out. It felt like something we could really unpack in a way that's, immediately useful for people.
Absolutely. I mean, we spend so much time focusing on, well, the food on our plates, right? Calories, nutrients, all that.
Right.
But this deep dive, it's about recognizing there's this whole other area of nourishment that's just as vital. The sources you provided, they really emphasize how our beliefs, our practices, they can feed our soul, give us that deep sense of purpose and inner peace.
Exactly. So our mission today really is to get a clearer understanding of what this spiritual food actually means and, well, why it's so crucial for overall well-being.
Yeah.
We're going to explore everything from its basic definition to the tangible benefits, the different forms it
How it
takes.
shows up in different belief systems, too.
Yes, and how you can practically weave it into daily life. We'll even look at some inspiring examples, maybe touch on the science a bit. Okay, so let's just dive right in. What fundamentally is spiritual nourishment?
Okay, so at its core, spiritual nourishment really covers those practices and beliefs that feed something deeper within us, deeper than just our physical bodies.
Okay.
As your source material highlights, it's about connecting with a sense of purpose, fulfillment,
Yeah.
something beyond just the day-to-day material world.
Right.
Think of it like this. You nourish your body with food, yeah, but you nourish your spirit with experiences, beliefs, things that give your life meaning, direction.
Mm, like an internal compass.
Exactly. That's a great way to put it. And what's interesting is that this isn't necessarily about following one specific religion or dogma.
Mm.
It's often a very personal journey,
Uh-huh.
seeking connection, maybe with yourself, with nature, a higher power, or just, something bigger than your own immediate worries.
It sounds like finding inner strength through that connection.
Precisely. And it's by actively engaging with this part of ourselves that many people find real resilience, especially when facing life's challenges,
Which are inevitable.
which are inevitable. Exactly. And what's really remarkable is how universal this need seems to be. Regardless of background, culture, religion, that desire for meaning, for connection, it feels fundamental.
That's a really powerful thought, especially now. Life feels so fragmented sometimes, so stressful. How does this idea of spiritual food fit into, our daily struggles?
Well, if we look at the bigger picture of health, and your health is your wealth, touches on this one emotional. Your mental and emotional health are just completely tied to your spiritual health. They're linked.
Right, and you're connected.
In a world where stress and anxiety often feel like the baseline,
Hmm.
consciously cultivating spiritual nourishment offers a powerful antidote. It's a way to find balance, peace.
So it's acknowledging we're more than just a to-do list.
Exactly. You have this inner life that needs attention, needs tending to achieve that true balance.
Okay, so we're getting a handle on what it is. But what about the actual tangible benefits? What might someone notice if they start embracing this spiritual food?
Oh, the benefits can be quite profound, as the source material points out. One huge one is developing emotional resilience.
Okay, resilience. Tell me more.
When you actively engage in spiritual practices, whatever they are for you, you build these inner resources. They help you navigate difficult emotions, bounce back from setbacks. It's like strengthening your emotional core.
That makes a lot of sense. Life throws curveballs.
It does. And practices like meditation, mindfulness,
Mm-hmm.
they're highlighted as really effective tools here.
Right.
What's interesting is how they actually train your attention. You learn to observe thoughts, feelings, without getting swept away.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you more capacity to manage them rather than being overwhelmed. This self-awareness leads to less stress, more calm. There's even brain science.
Mm.
Yeah, studies using fMRI have shown that even short periods of daily focused meditation can actually lead to measurable changes. Increases in gray matter density in the prefrontal cortex.
Wow. So the part of the brain for self-awareness and emotional regulation.
Exactly. So it's not just about feeling better, subjectively. It might actually be rewiring your brain for more balance.
That's fascinating. It's not just a nice idea then. There's a real physiological element.
Precisely. And beyond resilience, embracing spiritual food fosters inner peace and mindfulness. Being present.
The present moment. Harder than it sounds sometimes.
It is. But these practices encourage you to be here now instead of lost in worries about the future or regrets about the past.
And that presence. It leads to gratitude.
Yes, it fosters a deeper sense of gratitude and contentment. You start appreciating the small joys, the everyday beauty. It really enhances your overall well-being.
It's like learning to savor life, not just rush through it.
Exactly. Shifting focus, training yourself to notice the good that's already there. So we've touched on the what and the why. Let's get into the how. What are some of these types of spiritual foods the source material mentions?
Okay, yeah, the source gives some really concrete examples. First up, meditation and mindfulness exercises. Seems like a big one.
A very central theme, yes. The source highlights how meditation helps quiet that constant mental chatter, right? Helps you connect with your inner self.
That deeper part that gets lost in the noise.
Mm-hmm. And mindfulness, as we said, is about intentionally focusing awareness on the present, appreciating the richness of each moment, even the mundane ones.
I know for me, even just a few mindful breaths when I feel overwhelmed, it makes a surprising difference. What's another type?
Another really powerful one is engaging with nature.
Ah, yes.
Your source material points out how spending time in natural environments,
Mm.
it could be deeply nourishing for the spirit. Think about it, the quiet, the beauty.
It fosters reflection.
Definitely. Introspection, and also that feeling of being connected to something larger, the living world. There's even this idea, the biophilia hypothesis.
Biophilia.
Yeah, it suggests we have this innate tendency to connect with nature. And research backs it up. Even 20 minutes in a green space can lower cortisol, the stress hormone, more effectively than the same time in an urban setting.
So it's not just pleasant, it's physiologically beneficial.
Exactly. A tangible benefit.
Okay, that makes sense. A walk in the park feels like a recharge.
Yeah.
And the third type mentioned was engaging with inspirational literature and wisdom teachings.
Yes, immersing yourself in spiritual texts, philosophy, insights from wise people. They can be incredibly nourishing. Food for thought, but deeper, soul level.
Connecting with wisdom that's come before us.
Right. These resources offer new perspectives, inspire growth, help you grapple with life's big questions, your purpose.
Okay. Now, the source also talks about how this looks different across various belief systems. This really underlines that universality we mentioned.
It really does. The specific practices vary hugely, but that underlying need for connection, for nourishment, it's a common thread.
So, for example, in Christianity.
In Christianity, you often see prayer, church services, reading the Bible as vital ways to nourish spiritual life, connect with faith.
Okay. And in Buddhism.
Buddhism really centers on meditation, mindfulness practices, and studying Buddhist teachings. That's central to spiritual growth, the path to enlightenment.
Makes sense. What about Islam?
In Islam, the 5 daily prayers, reciting the Quran, observing Ramadan with fasting and prayer, these are integral acts of worship that nurture spiritual well-being.
And the source mentioned Native American spirituality, too.
Yes, and there, that deep connection with nature is paramount. Alongside various rituals, ceremonies, ancestral traditions, that forms the core of spiritual nourishment.
It's beautiful how different cultures find that meaning.
It is, and it's insightful how, despite the different outward forms, they all seem to tap into that fundamental human need for something beyond just the material world.
It really highlights our shared humanity.
Mm.
Okay, so how can someone practically start nurturing their spirit? It can sound daunting, but your source offers some accessible starting points.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. Consistency, even in small ways, is key. The source suggests establishing simple morning rituals.
Morning rituals, like,
Even just a few minutes at the start of the day. Quiet reflection, maybe some meditation, saying affirmations, or just expressing gratitude. It sets a positive tone.
I know people who swear by their morning meditation say it changes their whole day.
It can have a big impact. Another powerful way is incorporating mindful practices into your daily routine.
Mindfulness in routine things.
Exactly. Bringing full attention to things you usually do on autopilot, eating, walking, even driving or washing dishes. By being fully present, you deepen your appreciation, find a sense of the sacred in the ordinary. It's about slowing down, engaging fully.
Choosing to be present instead of letting life rush by, that makes sense. And creating sacred spaces.
Yes. Designating a specific area, even a small corner, in your home for prayer, meditation, reading, or just quiet contemplation.
A sanctuary.
Right. A dedicated space helps you focus without the usual distractions. It's like a physical anchor for your inner practice.
A little haven for your soul. I like that. Now, it's always inspiring to see how this plays out in real lives. Your source gives examples of well-known people. Let's start with Mahatma Gandhi.
Gandhi's life was just deeply rooted in Hindu spirituality. He practiced meditation, prayer, and His commitment to nonviolent resistance wasn't just political strategy.
It was spiritual expression.
Exactly, a profound expression of his beliefs in action.
And Mother Teresa.
Her tireless dedication to serving the poorest, the most marginalized, that was a direct reflection of her deep Christian faith, her spiritual calling. Her service was her spiritual nourishment made visible.
A life of service as spiritual practice. And the Dalai Lama.
As a revered figure in Tibetan Buddhism, he embodies those core principles: compassion, mindfulness, non-attachment. His daily spiritual practices, including extensive meditation, are central to his life and teachings.
Inspiring so many people.
Absolutely. These examples really show how spiritual nourishment can be this wellspring of immense inner strength
Yeah.
and a force for positive change.
They certainly do. It's powerful to see these principles in action on such a scale. Now, for those who appreciate maybe a more evidence-based view, what does science say? Is there a demonstrable link between spiritual practices and health?
Yes, absolutely. There's a growing body of research looking right at that connection between spiritual practices and both mental and physical well-being.
Okay.
Studies have indicated that regular engagement, things like meditation, prayer, can lead to significant reductions in stress hormones like cortisol,
All right, the stress
the
hormone.
lower blood pressure too, and just an overall improvement in feelings of well-being. What's really interesting is the research linking spirituality and increased resilience.
Resilience again. The ability to cope.
Exactly. To cope with and bounce back from life's challenges. Individuals who engage in spiritual practices often show a greater capacity to navigate adversity.
That's really encouraging. So nurturing our spirit isn't just subjective, it has tangible health benefits too.
It seems so, yes.
Of course, starting anything new can be tricky. What are some common challenges people face when trying to bring more spiritual nourishment into their lives?
Yeah, the source material mentions several common hurdles. Lack of time is a big one, isn't it?
Always.
In our fast-paced lives, adding another thing feels overwhelming. Distractions are another huge challenge. Phones buzzing, emails,
Constant noise.
makes it hard to quiet the mind. And then, as you mentioned, doubts can creep in, questioning if it's really working or if it's valid.
So how do people overcome these? What strategies help?
The source really emphasizes starting small and cultivating commitment, even just a few minutes each day.
Small steps.
Yes, small, sustainable steps, gradually increasing duration or frequency. Also, creating a supportive environment helps.
Like finding a community.
Could be connecting with like-minded people, joining a group, or even just sharing your intentions with a trusted friend or family member for encouragement, accountability.
And being patient with yourself.
Crucial. Be patient, be compassionate. Spiritual growth is a process, right? Not an instant fix.
That's great advice. Focus on small, sustainable steps. Okay, so as we wrap up, what's the ultimate goal here? How does cultivating spiritual nourishment lead to a more fulfilling life?
Well, the core message, as Your Health is Your Wealth puts it, is that spirituality isn't just an add-on. It's an indispensable part of our holistic well-being.
Not just physical or mental health.
Exactly. It includes nurturing the deepest part of ourselves, our spirit. And by intentionally doing that, engaging in practices that feed our soul, we can experience profound personal growth.
Leading to a richer life.
A life richer in meaning, purpose, and ultimately fulfillment. It's about redefining wealth to include the richness of our inner lives, not just material things. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
That's a powerful way to frame it. Now, before we finish, your source had that helpful FAQ section, summarizing key points. Let's quickly hit those. First, in simple terms, what is spiritual food?
Spiritual food covers those practices, beliefs, activities that nourish your soul. They foster inner peace, connection, personal growth.
And how does it contribute to overall well-being?
By embracing spiritual practices, you can experience less stress, better mental clarity, enhanced emotional resilience, and just a greater sense of overall contentment.
Is there scientific evidence for these benefits?
Yes, as we discussed, a growing body of research shows positive links between regular spiritual practices and improvements in both mental and physical health.
And can it be personalized?
Absolutely. It's
Yeah.
deeply personal. You can tailor practices to fit your unique beliefs, values, preferences. It makes it meaningful for everyone.
And finally, integrating it into a busy life without feeling overwhelmed.
It's achievable through simple daily rituals, practicing mindfulness during everyday activities, creating those sacred spaces, even for just a few moments. For more resources on nurturing your overall well-being, please do visit Remedify Coaching Program, that's RCP, at https://website.beacons.aak2020. What's really empowering is that it doesn't have to be grand gestures. It's often in those consistent, small acts of intention that we find the most profound benefits. Remember, your health is your responsibility. You can find more resources at Remedify Coaching Program, rcp.https.website.beacons.ak2020.
So here's a final thought to consider. How might consciously incorporating even one small spiritual practice into your daily routine, how might that subtly, yet significantly, shift your perspective and your overall sense of fulfillment? Definitely something worth exploring.
Absolutely. Even a few moments of quiet reflection each day can be a powerful first step on this really enriching journey.
Thank you for listening to the Remedify Coaching Program podcast.